And although it seems heaven sent, we ain't ready to see a black president. It ain't a secret, don't conceal the fact the penitentiary's packed and it's filled with blacks. But some things will never change.
Just minutes ago, the CIA just lost one of their most biggest important assets, and I'm here to talk to the people about what's really happening. Do you think it's weird that this news is coming right at the re-election of Barack Obama and exactly hours before he just bombed children in Libya?
I don't know nothing about that, man. I don't know nothing about it. You can ask him about that, but you put me on the spot, man.
You can ask me.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Don't ask the black guy to put another black man down. I can't do that.
Are you concerned with his kill list, him signing the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, and his drone bombings also of innocent civilians?
I have to learn more about that. I don't know about that.
Samuel L. Jackson had an interview with Ebony magazine, and during the interview, he was asked why he decided to vote for Obama. And his answer is kind of turning a few people's heads. He said, I voted for Barack because he was black, because that's why other folks vote for other people, because they look like them. He continues to say, that's American politics, pure and simple. Obama's message didn't mean anything to me. In the end, he's a politician. I just hope that he would do some of what he said he was going to do. I know politicians lie because they want to get elected.
That is one of the most honest statements I've ever heard.
Definitely. So people are criticizing him for it, right? But it's the truth. He is being 100% honest.
Something happened to you when you were young. I don't know if your parents dropped you on your head, because in spite of Obama's failure in every category, you still support the guy. You can't look in that camera and tell America that you think he's done a good job as president.
America, I think Barack Obama has done a good job as president. In fact, I'd say even better than good. I must admit, he's turned out to be an excellent president.
But
yeah,
listen,
he's done a lot of good things.
With all due respect,
the financial system has been saved.
No, it has not.
Even Republicans suggest. Oh no!
You are living in a Jerry Springer fantasy world.
Nat?
I have a final thought. Jerry Springer's lost his mind, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that we did a really good thing when we elected Barack Obama. He's proven himself to be not only qualified for the job, but very good at it. The things that he's managed to get accomplished in the face of so much pushback is amazing. And I think, this is Morgan Freeman's personal thought, we're going to be in a lot of trouble if we don't re-elect him. Because people on the other side of the fence scare me.
Now, you have been a long time in vocal supporter of President Obama. How do you grade him after 4 years? In a recent interview, he gave himself an incomplete. What grade would you give President Obama after his first term?
I would say I would give him an A because he's a human being that got tossed a lot of mess. And with the mess he was tossed, I think he did a great job. Seriously, he's only one man, and he's really, really smart with what he did. He took all of the mess and made it into a ongoing process of fixing, and he's going to fix everything. So, he can't do everything by himself, so I think he did a great job with what he got. Now, just chill out and let the man do his job. Yeah, no more drama. Leave President Obama alone. Let him finish his work.
Presidential election, they need to give Obama 4 more years, man. Bush fucked up for 8 years. So you got to at least give him 8 years to, he cleaned half the shit up in 4 years, realistically. It ain't like y'all gave him a clean house. Y'all gave him a house where the TV didn't work, the toilet was stuffed up. Everything was wrong with the house. So he had to come and, get y'all thing together. And then he went and knocked down our most hated and most wanted, the one who had our terror on orange or red, whatever color it was on. He went and found him. The one that Bush couldn't seem to find, that seemed to fly away the day of the 911. Remember all that? He went and found him and knocked him down. So don't forget about that. Now everybody is peaceful and able to move and, go to have a good time. It's because he made that happen. So please don't forget that. You understand me? So give him 4 years to get his thing together and finish this deal out. You heard what Clinton said. You loved Clinton, didn't you?
I just want to say quickly that, you know, people will get on Snoop Dogg for the kind of answer that he gave. It wasn't clear. He did mix up stories. And he doesn't sound like the smartest person on the planet when it comes to political analysis, right? But that's what you get when you ask a celebrity a political question. And in this case, it's Snoop Dogg. He's not a political analyst. So I think that it was actually a pretty good answer given the fact that he is now Snoop Lion. He's a reggae singer as opposed to a rapper.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And whatever, do your thing.
Bill Cosby isn't just an actor and a comedian. He's also an activist with an interest in politics. I caught up with him this week in Washington. You know that there has been some disappointment that the president hasn't done enough.
It's a man trying to go about doing his job and a ton of other people voting against him, and regardless of what he says.
Isn't that kind of, though, the definition of politics?
I think it would be very difficult in this particular, again, truncated American partisan space for me to have a president that I'd say I'd give you 100% A+. For me, a B+ president is pretty fantastic given what we have to work with.
Kevin, what grade would you give President Obama?
That the Obama administration is not that it's better than the Bush administration. In many ways, it's worse. It's absolutely worse. And it's much harder to fight because they have the liberal sheen over them. They put this face on it that makes it very difficult. It's much easier when the face is Bush. And work against the Obama administration, everything that they're doing to destroy our civil liberties, and that's that. But you know, I exist a bit in the real world, and so I sometimes use a car, and I sometimes vote for Obama.
Michael and I are going to get down on our knees and beg you not to run. Please. President, because you're a great American. Don't run, please. Don't do this, please.
You know, it's so interesting because 4 years prior to that, I remember Michael Moore, your rally saying the lesser of two evils is still evil. I mean, what happened? And he's saying, you're a great American, don't run. Ralph, what happened?
Well, politically, Michael Moore switched, and he became a Democrat, big D. And that was so illustrative, that clip, because here you have two well-known progressive liberals in America, Bill Maher and Michael Moore, basically saying to me, don't express your First Amendment rights. That, okay, if they say they oppose me, it's one thing, but to say, drop out, don't express your freedom of speech, freedom to petition your government, freedom to assembly. That's how decayed our democratic process is.
Finally, one of the newscasters cut to the chase and said, he's won, it's over. Pretty moving moment.
There was a tear.
Everybody cried. And when you saw all of the crowds in Washington, in New York, Chicago, look what we did. Look what we did.
And it hasn't worn off yet, judging
no.
by the look on your face.
No, I'm not ashamed of it. My family, my wife, my kids, everybody.
Right down the middle. Hey guys, how are you? Sorry, running a little late.
Mr. President Stephen Colbert.
Nice to see you.
Thanks so much for doing this with us.
Good to see you. Hi, how are you?
You'll see it Monday night.
I wanted to see it, you know,
the minute
shorn
you
now.
go off the air, Odierno's going to shear my head.
It's going to be fun.
So, that's it.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Look for this come Emmy time.
Yeah.
You're a contender at
It's
this
big.
point.
It's big. Some of the sad clown thing.
Following in the tradition of such USO luminaries as Bob Hope and Marilyn Monroe, Comedy Central's Stephen Colbert is taking his show, The Colbert Report, out of the studio and onto the front lines to entertain our troops.
I'm in Baghdad, Iraq right now, performing for the troops at the Al-Fa Palace, at Saddam's palace. The war is not over, and so we're asking people to support the troops. I wanted to represent as many branches of the service as possible.
And it means so much to the troops there and their families. Yeah. The troops really love that. They got a roar out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for doing that.
That's all I'm saying. What do you make of Fox?
I think brilliantly authoritative. They know what they're doing. People would take well to heed how tenacious they are, how bold they are. They express editorial authority. I think they're wrong. but I appreciate that they're trying. I think they're tenacious. I think they are confident, and they are showing the model of how to build an organization that believes in something. I think what they believe, I think it is wrong-headed for a news organization. I think they've built an incredible political organization, really effective political organization.
So it's a political organization.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, I'll tell you about South Park in general. It has some laughs in it.
Right.
And it is slashingly fearless satire. That's true. But it's also so mean. It is so mean-spirited and so negative. And you feel, as you sit in the audience, even when you're laughing, you're not proud of what you're laughing at.
But I mean, the issues it raises sort of, it
doesn't raise issues, it just pushes the issues.
right in the middle of this debate about this particular moment. It's really timely about the First Amendment and the media and culture's ability to sort of influence
so the First
young
Amendment
minds.
gives us the right to hear all these words, none of which we could show on television. But what about all the racial slurs? What about all the Jewish and black insults?
But it's in the context of this farce, in which even the army...
We can sit here intellectually and talk about how it's in the context of a farce, but millions of people who go to the movies just learn that it's okay to make fun of Jews.
Fat Jew! Jew bitch! Big nose cake!
I don't think that's... I mean, I think
that's on the screen. Oh, everybody's going to laugh at that. Oh, I can't believe he said that. It's not really good to lower the bar like that and to tell people, oh, that's okay now.
But I don't think the bar's been lowered. I think it's actually been raised. I mean, this movie is not only trying to figure out what it can get away with.
Another big summer success was the hard-biting South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. I gave South Park a marginal thumbs down because of what I thought was the movie's mean spirit, but I did admire its intelligence and energy, and as the smoke clears after the summer of 1999, it's clear to me that this was a movie that took chances and made scathing criticisms of the broken-down MPAA rating system. Maybe I got carried away by my immediate reaction. This is really a very good film.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself. That movie has warped my fragile little mind.
There's only some police officers that are racist. Most of them are all right. I'm not gonna start slagging them off and that and making them look like that they're bad.
If you're a right person from your inner heart and mind in your state, I think you like the police.
President Bush opens up in his new memoir about that famous moment when West said George Bush doesn't care about black people. It's something I asked President Bush about when we sat down recently in Texas.
I didn't appreciate it then, and I don't appreciate it now. It's one thing to say, you know, I don't appreciate the way he's handled his business. It's another thing to say this man's a racist. I resent it. It's not true, and it was one of the most disgusting moments of my presidency.
Here's a two-term president who ran the country during Katrina, 9/11, wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the financial meltdown, and he's pointing the finger at Kanye West and that incident as the worst moment in his presidency. I asked Kanye West to respond to President Bush's remarks.
His take, his explanation, I completely agree with, and I empathize with totally. And I felt like that the entire time. In a moment of emotion, to peg someone or to call a name or peg someone as a racist is not, it's just not right.
Just play the tape. Don't even listen this time. I want you to just look at his face when he is commenting about you. And just look at him. I mean, this is the most emotional he got during my entire 3.5-hour interview with him. What would you say to him if he would meet with you face to face? And I'm not sure he would, but if he would.
You know, I mean, I didn't need you guys to show me the tape in order to like prompt my emotion to what I'm going to say. You know?
No, I'm just asking you, when you look at his face, what would you say to him?
I would say to, can we be quiet for a second? I would tell George Bush, in my moment of frustration, I didn't have the grounds to call him a racist.
And you're sorry?
Yeah, I'm sorry for...
I think I get the point.
I came here to say that I made mistakes, that I've grown as a person, but me being a rational, well thought out, empathetic human being, and not using or realizing the power of my words and the way they would stop the internet.
It sounds to me, and not to oversimplify it, what you're saying is we're human, we make mistakes, but we have to learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And we should mention that President Bush was here on Wednesday. He said he appreciated West's apology.